Hello, let's try out this tasty egusi soup on a budget. Now, when you hear the word budget, it doesn't just mean that the ingredients are cheap. No, it simply means that these are ingredients that you could easily find around. First of all, we have the egusi, which is blended with the crayfish, onion paste, pepper mix, crayfish, Cameroon pepper, palm oil, fresh ugwu leaves, meat of your choice, boiled meat stock, seasoning cubes, and of course, your salt. Let's proceed. In a bowl, mix your blended egusi powder with the onion paste to form a smooth thick paste. Now, using onion paste, which is simply your roughly blended onion, is a game changer. The flavor and aroma is out of this world, but you have to be very careful of the quantity of onion used. If your onion is too much, it darkens your egusi soup and the onion flavor in it becomes unbearable and sometimes can be bitter. Next, you heat up your palm oil in a pot and add your locust beans, also called iro. And this is totally optional. If you're not going to be using the locust beans, you just simply add in your blended pepper mix and some crayfish powder. Then you stir fry for about 2 to 3 minutes and do this very well to avoid having a burnt outcome. So now you can add in your egusi mixture bit by bit and fry this until the oil is absorbed in the egusi and this begins to form seed-like crumbs. Then you can now add in your meat varieties and your meat stock and stir and cook for about 5 to 10 minutes on low medium heat. At this point, you can choose to add in your dried fish or you can add it probably later so your fish doesn't break. After cooking your egusi soup for about 5 to 10 minutes, don't forget to always stir at intervals so your egusi soup doesn't get burnt. You then test for seasoning and salt and you add more if it's needed to suit your thirst. You could also add in more crayfish or dried pepper based on your preference. At this point, your egusi soup is almost ready to be served. So now you can add in your neatly washed ugwu leaf and you can use any vegetable leaf of your choice. Then you simmer this on low heat for about 2 minutes. And when you notice that the red oil begins to come up towards the top of the egusi, then your egusi soup is ready to be served with any swallow of your choice, with rice or with pasta. I listed out some helpful hints that you could apply when you're making your egusi soup, and this could also be helpful for any other kind of soups or your stew. Firstly, always add seasoning cubes or salt after tasting when cooking with meat stock to avoid excess seasoning or salt. Your meat stock already contains seasoning, salt, in some cases, crayfish, pepper. So before you add any of this, ensure you've tested your meal and you're sure you need to add more so you don't come out with a salty or over seasoned food. Next, avoid burning your egusi paste while cooking to prevent a bitter soup. You may not be able to totally avoid burning, but don't burn to a point that the soup becomes bitter, becomes excessively burnt. So you have to keep stir frying occasionally. And also, when you're heating up your oil for your pepper mix, please do not bleach your oil. Just heat it up a little for some few seconds, good enough for you to add in your pepper mix. Do not bleach. And lastly, use a measurable quantity of oil to avoid burning your egusi due to dryness. Now, sometimes you may think, oh, I don't want to add in, or I can't even add in extra oil during the process because I already use my palm oil to fry my pepper mix at the beginning. You can always add in more oil during the process if you notice that your egusi is becoming dry and it's burning uncontrollably. You could also add in some water based on preference if you need to at that moment, but you can always add in more oil if it's getting dry. This will help your egusi to fry properly and avoid getting burnt. Thank you for listening. See you in my next video. Bye.